Hi, welcome to my video on what is a certain percent of a number. A certain percent of a number is one of three different types of percent calculations that we're going to do. What is a certain percent of a number? To start off, what I do is I let what be the x, the unknown. I let the is be the equal sign, and I let of be the multiplication sign or times. So let's do some examples, but if we follow these steps, we change the statement, that is, what is 30% of 20, we change this statement to an equation doing what is an of. Then we change the percent to a decimal, and then we multiply. Let's try 3 of these as an example. What is x? Is the equal sign. Of is the multiplication or times. So notice the what is changed to x, the is the equal sign, of is multiplication. Then we work this out. Notice the x is on the left, so we do 30% of 20. So that goes as decimal 30 times 20. 30%, we move the decimal 2 places to the left. And decimal 30 times 20 is 30 times 20. 0 times 0 is 0, 0. 2 zeros is 0, 6. So we get 600, but we have 2 decimal places. So the answer is 6. 30% of 20 is 6. You could use your calculator to multiply that. Decimal 30 times 6 if you want. Decimal 30 times, what number did I say? 20. Okay. And you see you get a 6 if you wish to use your calculator. Again, what? What is the x? Is the equal sign. 7%. Of is the times. So we get x equals 7% times 130. So x is equal to 7% as a decimal is decimal 0.7 times 130. And 130 times decimal 0.7, 0, 3 7s are 21, carry your 2, 9, and we have 2 decimal places, so we got 9.1. Again, use your calculator and you get, let's see, clear that, and you get 130 times decimal 0.7, and we get 9.1. 9.1. And here we go again. What? What is the x? Is the equal sign. Of is the multiplication sign. 2.5% and the 300. So making this, writing this in the form of an equation gives you a consistent way of working it out. So we changed the 2.5% to decimal. So decimal 0.25. To change the percent to a decimal, the decimal moved 2 places to the left. And now we have 300 times decimal 0.25, and 300 times decimal 0.25. I can use the calculator. Clear that. 300 times decimal 0.25, and I have 7.5. But I still like to use my pencil. 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 3 5s are 15. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 3 times 2 is 6, so 0, 0, 5, 7. Move the decimal, 3 decimal places here, so we move it 3. 1, 2, 3. So 7.5. Now, if you Want, you may pause your video and work these out before I do them. Pause, work them out, and play back to see if you're right. What is the x is the equal sign, off is the multiplication. And then you go 5%, 48. Change your 5% to a decimal, 0.05 times 48. And if you multiply 48 by 0.05, clear, 48 times 0.05, and you'll get 2.4. 2.4 again, 48 times 0.05, 58 to 40 plus 0, you got to carry your 4, 20, 24. 2 decimal places in this one, 1, 2. So we go 2 to the left, there it is. We go 1, 2, so you get 2.4. What x is the x is the equal sign, off is the multiplication, 60% and 100. And 60% is decimal 6 or decimal 60, your choice. And 120 times 0.6027. Multiply it out, and that's 2 places, so it's a 7.2. X is what? Is the equal sign, off is the multiplication, and 150% and 60. 150% is 1.5 times 60. So 60 times 1.5, we're multiplying. 5 zeros is 0, 30. 1 times 0 is 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 0, 0, 9. 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place gives us 90. You can check with your calculator. Now, that's number 4. We have what is the x is the equal sign, off is the multiplication, 4 1/4% and 200. X, 4 1/4. Let's change the 1/4 to a decimal first. 1/4, excuse me, is decimal 25. So it's better to change the 1/4 first. And as a decimal then, you get decimal 0.425 because it moves 2 places to the left. And now we got bigger numbers, so to speed it up, I have 425 times 200. So clear. So 200 times, and again, decimal 425 decimal 0.425. So be careful. Decimal 0.425. Equal sign, and I got an 8.5. So x is 8.5. But like you would, you have to multiply this out. Just one of those people. Gotta keep practicing. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry your 1. 4 and 1 is 5. 2 4s are 8. All done. I got 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. Number 5. What is 0.5% of 600? What is the x? Is the equal sign, off is the multiplication. 1/2% of 600. So I wrote the equation first. Now, 1/2 is 0.5. So change your fraction first. It makes it easier. And now change your decimal to, change your percent to decimal. Move it 2 places to the left. So we got to put 2 zeros on. It was right there. We went 1, 2 times 600. And 600 times decimal 0.05. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 6 is 30. I have 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3. So I have 3. Check with your calculator. You should be okay. All right. Let's continue. Using that what is what is a certain percent of a number? Let's do some word problems related to that. Example 1. On an average, each household produces 30 kilometers of garbage per year. 20% is recycled. What amount is recycled each month? So 20% is recycled. So that means it's 20% times 30. 20% of that. So you change your percent to a decimal and you multiply. So the recycle, you can make it an equation, but recyclable is 20% of the total. So you could put R for recycle and continue down, and you see you have the same type of equation that I just had. But most people don't write the R equals, they just go 20% of 30. And that gives us 30 times decimal 20, 0.006. So 2 decimal places, so it's 6. So 6 kilograms is recycled. And if you want, sometimes they ask what's not recycled, then you could take the 30 and subtract the 6 and get 24. So be careful of the word problems. In recent years, 35% of the grade 10s enrolled in advanced math. Of the 200 students in grade 10, how many were enrolled in advanced math? So you can see it's the same type of problem. 35% of the 200 students. Change your percent to decimal, which is decimal 35, and then multiply it out. So it's 200 times decimal 35, and you get a 0.010, 0.006, so 0.007, and there's 2 decimal places, so you see your answer is 70. 70 students is enrolled in advanced math. And again, be careful. Those not enrolled in advanced math would be 200. Subtract that if you were asked 130, but we weren't asked it. Practice, you work these out and get the answer and then press play to see if you're right. Here we go. The price of a home is $240,000 at the beginning of the year. What would be the price at the end of the year if it grew 38%? Okay, 38%. It grew 38%. So that's 38% times 240,000. So decimal 38 times 240,000. Now we got big numbers. So 202, let's clear that, 240,000 times, and we have decimal 38. We have 91,200. 91,200. So that's how much the home increased. But what would be the price at the year's end? So the price would be 240 plus 9120. Remember, 91,200 is the increase in the price. But they asked the question, what would be the cost or the price of the home at the end? So we have to add. So the price at the end of the price of the home at the end of the year would be $331,200. Just be careful of how the problem is worded and what you got to do. Taxes on the furniture is 8%. If a fridge costs $1,200, how much taxes would you pay? So it's 8% times 1,200. Decimal 0.8% to decimal. Move it 2 places to the right. And 1,200 times decimal 8. We can multiply with a calculator, or I can quickly multiply here. 0, 0, 2 8s are 16, carry 1 is a 9. And we got 2 decimal places, so you would pay $96 in taxes. So it says, how much taxes would you pay? Now, just be careful. Sometimes they ask the question, how much would you pay for the fridge? So if they did that, you would take the $1,200 and add on the $96, and you would get $1,296. But this question is not asking you to find how much money you're going to pay for the fridge. It just said find the taxes. So the taxes is 96. And we have another problem. A math test has 40 questions. If a student has 90% of the questions correct, how many questions are not correct? Well, let's do this one two ways. Watch. Most people would take 90% times the 40. So that's decimal 90 or decimal 9 times 40. So 40 times 9, 0, 36, and you get 40 is 9, one decimal place, so you have 36 questions right. Therefore, 40 subtract 36 would give you 4. So you'll have 36 questions correct and 4 questions wrong. Most students would do it that way. But I like another way. I like to go, well, if you have 90% correct, there's 100% altogether. So if you take your 90 and subtract from 100, then you'll get 10% that you have not right. So if you take the 10% times the 40, which is decimal 10 or decimal 1, and so you can see that you'll get 40 times decimal 1, 0, 4, you get 4. So you're going to either multiply with the 90% and then subtract the 36 from 40, or you can subtract your percent, which is 10, and take 10%, and the 10% is what's wrong. I like this too, but most people go this way. This is good to think about. Subtract your percent, and then what you get is related to what you have. That's a good way to think. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, click on the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Write a comment if you wish. Visit my math website at mathfullyexplained.com, and you get information about my degrees, teaching experience. Section on videos has the teaching strategy you're going to use. Section on content tells you the topics I have on my website, the number of videos on each topic. The topics completed are in black font. The topics to be done in the future are in red font. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.